Welcome to Module 3 of the Civilian Firearms Training Program. This module will talk about the Force Liability Defense Act as it's applicable to citizens' use of force. Please go to the Force Liability Defense Act now linked above and scroll down to Section 4. This is the only section we will be dealing with today. Citizens and law enforcement alike shall have no duty to retreat when defending themselves pursuant to the provisions of this act. So essentially what this part is talking about is just if you are in a situation where you're defending yourself, the law doesn't make it where like you have to seek shelter or something. If you are lawfully operating within the bounds of this act, you can stand your ground pretty much and, shoot the threat as you see it. You don't have to retreat. That being said, if law enforcement do come up to you and say, hey, we're closing this area, we need you to back off, then you need to back off. So always listen to law enforcement whenever they're on scene. But if there's no law enforcement on the scene or if they don't care or something, just note that you don't have a duty to retreat. That's what this section is talking about. Citizens may use physical force to prevent an imminent threat of bodily injury and to defend their property from unlawful incursion by private parties. So one of the main examples of this is if someone's trying to get into your car or something, you can block them with your body, you can push them sort of thing. Another way this is used is if they're messing with you, like you're punching you or something and you're a DPW or DOT on duty and you have pepper spray, then you can use your pepper spray as physical force. Another example of this is if you're security for a business and the business is closed or you have people trespass who are trying to get in, you can kind of push them to not enter the property. Again, make sure that it is being an unlawful incursion of the private property, because if it's public area or something like that, then you don't have this right. Citizens may use deadly force to prevent an imminent threat of serious bodily injury or death to themselves. So this is what the most important part of this act is just saying, hey, if you are being threatened with some bodily injury or death to yourself, you're able to use your firearm to defend yourself. So an example of this is if someone's shooting at you, you can shoot back and defend yourself, sort of thing. So that's kind of the main example of what this is used for. A citizen may use physical force to prevent an imminent threat of bodily injury to that of another innocent person. So say your friend is getting harassed and getting pushed or something, you can give that same force back, so you can help push back the person, sort of thing. If someone's trying to get into your friend's car and they're needing help, you can kind of help push back the person that's in the car. Same thing if you're on DPW or DOT, your coworker is getting harassed or something, you can use your own pepper spray as well to kind of help mitigate that situation. So that's what this subsection D is talking about. A citizen may use deadly physical force to prevent an imminent threat of serious bodily injury or death to that of another innocent person. So this is just like self-defense that we talked about earlier, except this is for a third-person party. So what this part is just talking about is if your friend's getting attacked and he's getting shot at or something, you can also pull out your firearm and help defend him. That's all this part is talking about. In any instance, the use of force by a citizen in self-defense or defense of a third party must be proportional to the threat faced and reasonable to the average person. So what this part is talking about, subsection F, is just talking about, hey, if you are being punched at or something, you don't just automatically pull out your firearm and start shooting the person. Whatever you're giving needs to be proportional. So if guns are already drawn and someone's shooting, then you can pull out your gun. If someone is just punching, then maybe you can punch to bring the person back or something. There's a lot of different scenarios this is used. It's a lot easier if you have pepper spray or something, because you can just pepper spray the person instead of punching them back. But this is what this part is talking about. It's just if you are doing it in defense of yourself, that's proportional, then that's okay, if that makes sense. A citizen may use deadly force to act in self-defense or defense of another to prevent an escape of a fleeing suspect only if the person has good faith belief that the suspect possesses a significant threat of death or serious physical injury. If a subject is fleeing from the scene or otherwise is no longer directly posing a threat, a citizen may still use deadly force on the pretense that the subject has the potential to, or reasonable may, continue to pose such a threat to life as they were before. So, what this part is talking about, think of it as the vehicle assault rule. So, if someone is coming with their vehicle and they're slamming into people at the bus stop, and then they retreat back and they're running their car back on Redwood Boulevard, you can still shoot the vehicle unless there is another citizen in there that's not doing anything. And the reason I say that is because if you shoot that other citizen, now you're liable for that and you just unlawfully hurt someone. So if the vehicle is only occupied by the driver and the driver rams into people, bunch of hit and runs, vehicle assault sort of stuff, then you can apply this rule. So that's what this section is pretty much talking about. Think of it as our little vehicle assault rule. A citizen cannot claim self-defense if they were in the commission of an arrestable offense at the time of or precipitating the use of force. Likewise, a citizen cannot claim defense of a third person if said citizen would reasonably know that the third person was engaged in an arrestable offense or precipitated the need for force via such offense. So, first part of this is just saying, hey, if you are the one causing this issue, then you can't use self-defense. So, an example of this is if you're robbing a bank and the police come after you with firearms drawn, that doesn't give you the right to then defend yourself with your own firearm because you are in the commission of an arrestable offense. Additionally, say jaywalking, for example. Jaywalking itself is not an arrestable offense. However, if you walk across Redwood Boulevard and a car accidentally hits you because you're in the middle of the freaking street, that doesn't allow you to then pull out your firearm and then start shooting the guy as self-defense. Especially if you did that just so you could shoot at the person, because you are now precipitating that use of force. You went out of your way in order to cause an issue and to then use your firearm to shoot at the person. So again, don't do that. The second part to this subsection is saying if your friend is in the commission of a crime or is precipitating the use of force, then you still can't defend them. So say your friend Bob is robbing a bank, you can't, defend Bob whenever the police arrive or if some other gang member arrives. So if they're having a bloody shootout because both of them are trying to arrest the bank at the same time, that doesn't give you the right to defend your friend, if that makes sense. So that's what this is what that last section of subsection H is talking about. This concludes the Forced Liability Defense Act. Again, this is very important, so if any of this didn't make sense, please tag a CFTP instructor in your classroom chat and just be like, hey, I wasn't sure on this, what was this saying, blah blah blah. We are here to help you, and if you have a question about any of this, please let us know. It is very important that you understand the Forced Liability Defense Act, as not doing so can get you sued, it can get your FFC revoked, it can get you in jail. There's a lot of bad things that happen if you don't follow this. So again, if you have any questions, please reach out to an instructor so we can help you. With that being said, go ahead and do your session quiz, and we'll see you in the last video, the criminal code regarding firearms. So you're rocking and rolling. You're almost there. See ya.